Hello, streaming to you live. I'm Gordon with Unlock Your Bioenergy. Today is Tuesday, August 11th, 2026. And it's day number 480 of wearing the incredible X39. And 39 days are left to 50, my 50th birthday. So today's workout's going to be a 9-minute warm-up and then push exercises. And then I'm going to talk about cortisol after that. Largely because I'm going to share a post that I think is worthy to share. So, the exercises. I just realized I did not update the one list, but I'm not going to worry about it because I haven't done it, so I'm just going to wing it here. So, push exercises today. And we're going to first start with a warm-up. So, as many of you probably have followed, I like to do this kind of thing to warm up the body, circulate the blood, circulate some water inside my body, and then also replenish that water with the best and, in my opinion, the cleanest and most absorbable. So, does it help give me energy? You bet it does. And when I activate that process of photobiomodulation inside the body to trigger AHK and GHK, I feel extra benefits. So, power your DNA with the best. Well, so let's get on with it. So, got the, I'm going to do the heart rate. So, hopefully it's going to, how would you say, register quickly here. Come on. There we go. Yes, yes. All right, I'm alive. And in the background, you could probably hear the sound of glory, which is my favorite sound, which is, do you hear it? Making the purest and most absorbable water. And with that, today's tempo, I'm going to set at, let's see, and of course, just going to reset this screen here. Why does it not do it? I need it to make some noise. There we go. Maybe it's going to work now. There we go. So, tempo I'm going to set at, let's go faster today. I'm going to do 145. That tempo. And then the 9-minute warm-up. So you can see my heart rate here has dropped down into the 40s, 45. And I will start the timer. And let's do a 9-minute warm-up. Let's go. Try this again, one more time. So you probably heard the beeps, whereas I didn't. But that's okay. I should hear it now. So this is a relatively brisk pace of 146 or 145. So today's push exercises we're going to be doing more vibration plate training. Largely because I like to do it. And in yesterday's episode I talked about plate or weights, where I was testing the addition of additional weights on the bands itself, and I gave my honest feedback on how it felt, and for those who like the feeling of failure, feeling it with vibration is actually quite good, because you reach that state faster. So, if you're like me, where you want to maximize the amount of time that you spend when you train, you want to make sure that you're getting your money's worth. And the same goes with recovery. And there are differences in recovery options. And the one that I found that I'm currently using, it is a force to be reckoned with. Largely because the energy that I have is good. And by doing this, what I'm doing and showing you is my way of proving it. So with 39 days left to go to my 50th birthday, there's no denying that what I'm doing is very telling, but also very motivating. Do you have the same level of energy? Can you keep up? Put your money where your mouth is. I am. So what I'm going to try to do today is more just unbroken. Can you keep up? Oh, I'm trying for the triple. What's going on here? Ha! Trying for the crisscross. All right, there we go. So I'm just matching the tempo, breathing in, out, out, in, out, in. And only through my nose. Exhale through the mouth. Breathe in through the nose. So you can see my recovery there, really strong. So I'm just going to pause the heart rate or the cardio session today. So I want to see what my average heart rate is. So you see there 128. Today's date, August 11th, 2026. Maximum heart rate I hit today was 181. So, and according to that formula, 220 less my age, my maximum heart rate should be 171, but it's clearly not that. And if I had that VO2 Master equipment, you would see what my breathing rate is. I would show it here live, and to prove to you that I am as real as a heart attack. So, I was in that heart rate zone of 165 to 186 for 1 minute and 6 seconds. So you see that here. That's the heart rate zone. And there's the time in which I was in it. So interesting to see here how that my average, it peaks up here and then a strong recovery. So interesting results. So let's move ahead now with the resistance training aspect of today's workout. So today I'll be doing a wide arm push-up along with the vibration plate. So I'm going to start first with taking the Bosu ball, which I've done here in the past, and I'm going to change the angle in which so what you see, I want to see my posture when I'm performing these reps, largely because I'm a stickler for details, meaning I want to tighten the posterior chain and the anterior chain, and so that way the force that's being applied, or the tension, is taking place with the or the how would I say, the exercises that I'm doing are working the muscle that's intended. So today is the pectoral muscles. So just going to measure the distance here. So here I'm keeping a tight, but also having the arms wide. So by putting the pieces of wood here, so pressing with the metronome, now I'm going to hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that was 20 seconds. Holding it isometrically. So here I'm squeezing the glutes and the quads, trying not to I'm going wide. Oh. Wow. That was a lot of tension. Wow. Okay. This does sound a little, seems a kind of a little finicky, but I'm tired. One extra push at the end. Wow. It's certainly a lot of stress on the pectoral muscle, and it's starting to show my progress, especially with the Feel It Friday conditioning workout. Since I've been doing this wide angle push-up, I'm getting stronger. So the next exercise is going to be dips. So that's where I'm going to take an orange band along with a purple one here, and I'm going to stack them together and grab this regular handles like this, so you can see. Attach them to the bands, and what I'm going to do is mimic a dip. So where I'm going to take the vibration plate and bring it closer to the wall behind me. But with that, I'm also going to grab this towel that I've used just to make this a little more comfortable on the vibration plate itself. So okay, slide that over. So with this variation, my feet are going to stay flat against the wall behind me, and I'm going to set the vibration plate for the same program, which is going to alternate between a slow and a high speed of frequency. And of course, this here. There we go. So, pressing down. So this weight is very similar to, it's close to my actual body weight. A little bit less, but so here I'm going to hold it isometrically. 1, 2. Just going to move this back a little bit. I'm just going to lower the weight, taking the purple band off, which is the lighter of the two. The reason being because I want to stay in this lower part longer. Oh my. All right. I'm working up a healthy sweat. Next exercise, I'm going to take the exercise ball and utilize blue bands here. I'm going to take this guy off. So, making a switch here. So quick, 30 seconds. This is where I'm going to take a blue band, put it through center here, and then grab the ends and then slice it through another here. So the idea is to take the slack out of the band, and then I'm going to do the same here, and then slice it through the other side so it's nice and even here between the left and the right. Okay, there we go. Now, take the anchors, put them on here, and move the vibration point a little forward, because when I introduce the exercise ball, basically, I'll make sure this is kind of in the right spot. Yeah. So, the idea is to use the exercise ball as like a bench, essentially. And then with the bands attached to the lower angle here, I've got strength or tension right here, and press through. And I press upwards. So, here we go. And the vibration adds disturbance. And there's tension here. Oh wow. So you can do this, a bench press like this, the same way, but if you can't manage your own weight, so this is a nice variation that you can use for the bench press as well. Oh my. Oh my. It's on the heavy side. Trying to fight that sticking point. Yeah. No. I have work to do for the upper. The strength is coming, but I have work to do yet. All right, next up is flies, and this is where I'm going to take the, I'll take the blue band here, and I'm going to attach it to a different anchor point. So this is going to be shoulder height, essentially, and then I'm going to grab an ankle strap and yeah. All right. Just thinking my way through this. So with the blue bands, I'm going to attach them to my elbows, and then that way I'm taking the hand and the wrist, the flexion of the wrist out of the movement. And I'm doing that purposely because I want the pectoral muscle to do the work. I don't want to get the arms involved. Not for this exercise, at least. They'll be involved in the next one, or the next two. So, with that, you see here, I'm attaching this here. So this is going to be about shoulder height. Then, I'm taking the vibration plate. I'm going to center it somewhere, just to figure out where I need it to be. I might have to adjust it, so I'll figure this out momentarily. It's going to come more to my left. Yeah, seems about right. So the idea is to do a fly. My elbows are kind of parallel with my body, and so I want to activate the muscle that way. So, using the vibration, there we go. Okay. So here you can rotate your position of the elbows all the way through. And clap your hands if you wish. But if you clap your hands, then you want your elbows to clap. Not your hands, essentially. So here, now I'm holding it isometrically through the entire range. Can go behind your back a little bit, muscle, because you can't put your elbows there behind your torso to get those fibers that are in that kind of range. You can get them safely doing it this way. So here, keep the knees locked as much as you can. That way that the frequency of the vibration is traveling up your body and into the pectoral here. So, not having the hands involved, you can crisscross them over and above. Doing some explosive work there in addition to the isometrics, and that is the fly. That's my version of the fly. And I can feel the pectoral muscles, how they flare up. I'm getting nice shape. Alright, next up is we're going to do kneeling throws. So this is where I'm going to take the, I'm going to use the red bands today. So I'm taking 2 red bands, and I'm going to probably put this one on a, yes, I need lower. I want lower, and then probably this guy here, I think. And because I'm going to do a kneeling version, I haven't done this version in a while, so it's going to put extra stress onto the core, and I like this because it provides a different challenge, and because in order to throw a ball of sorts, you need to have strong core muscle as well to have it get involved to be able to execute that movement. So with today's variation, I'm also going to take the weights here and I'm going to put them behind me, largely because I don't want my feet or my knees to be sliding off of the vibration plate. And you'll see why here, because the bands are going to want to pull me backwards. And with ones on a lower angle, basically, I want the stretch, or this tricep to be stretched at the very beginning of the throwing movement. So you're going to throw something here and execute this way, right? So I feel tension all the way when the tricep is stretched, and that's what I want. And the feet and the weights behind me are going to help keep my and of course the bands are, there we go. So by having that weight behind me, so this puts more emphasis on the tricep. And in order to fire, I gotta squeeze the core. So it's getting a workout as well as the glutes. And feel the bands move a little bit. Hold it here, stretch. Now 10% activation, or move the wrist 10%. 20, hold, back down to 10. Now 50, back down. 100, back down. Whew. It's been a while since I've done it this way. Oh my. Hit it again. My left is stronger than my right. What the heck? I don't know if it's the bands that are uneven. Oh my goodness. Or my arm, my triceps are just tired because they've been worked already a little bit from the chest exercises, especially the push-up. So hitting them again after they're fatigued feels good. All right, the next exercise is I'm going to do what's called the Wolverines, and I'm going to do the kneeling version of it as well. So I'm going to take the power blocks that I have here. I've got 70 pounds worth of free weights, and I'm just going to test the distance here before I move them. So, what I'm going to do is actually change the angle here. I'm going to raise this one up here. 1. In addition, move this guy here up 1. So it's going to be about just hip height approximately. And the other one is shoulder. So 1 shoulder, 1 hip. And I like combining angles like this to attack the range of movement. So, and with this it becomes a more effective way of doing the exercise. So, all right, this is good. That's what I want. I don't need to. Just gonna change that like that. I was thinking about putting the weights on behind my body, so in between the camera and the plate, but because of my weight, I'm gonna just focus this way. So, setting the program 1, and now Wolverine, so holding it this way. So here I'm working the triceps from a different angle, and by having them anchored, or having the bands anchored to my wrists as opposed to my palms, the tricep gets the full activation from the tension. A slow negative. Hold it. So the lats kind of get involved, but that was the other thing I was thinking about, was using a foam roller and I probably should go get another one. Wow. So you can change the angle so it's more vertical, but because I've worked the tricep from the stretch position already, I'm focusing on the latter part. Oh. All right. That's it for triceps, chest and triceps today. All right, so let's have a look at heart rate results. So got it done in 32 minutes. So if you're only doing the weight training, if you're doing walking and other things during the day, then the weight training aspect, the way I do it here, is probably the way to go. So half an hour every day, and you know, you can have the physique that you want. So today's heart rate results for the resistance training aspect of today's session. So today's date you see there, August 11th, 2026. Starting time of the timer was 6:38 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Maximum heart rate I hit today for this session is 135, which is, I think, pretty high. And it's interesting to see these moments of recovery here. There's another one, here, another recovery. There's another, another recovery, and then obviously another one here. So lots of moments where my heart rate is recovering, and I attribute that to just all the pieces of the puzzle together. So with that being said, I mentioned today's topic, it was cortisol. And let's have a look. And today I'm bringing forth an article that was shared by someone on LinkedIn. His name is Dr. Marco Persic, or Persic. I think that's probably the correct pronunciation. And he writes, ever wake up at 3:15 a.m. with a racing heart, staring at the ceiling for no obvious reason? Your body is exhausted, your eyes feel heavy, yet your mind is spinning through tomorrow's meetings, emails, and decisions like a runaway engine. Most executives, he writes, I work with brush this off as work stress. So they push through the morning on 3 cups of coffee, they crash at 3 p.m. with a heavy cloud of brain fog, and they use sheer willpower to survive until dinner. Here is what is actually happening inside your body at a biological level. He says your HPA axis stress response is dysregulated. When you run a high-stakes business in constant low-grade stress, your adrenal glands produce erratic cortisol spikes. That 3 a.m. wake-up call isn't an anxiety problem, it's a premature cortisol surge telling your liver to dump glucose because your brain senses danger. 2. Mitochondrial ATP depletion. So your brain uses 20% of your body's energy. When your cellular mitochondria are fatigued, they can't produce ATP, cellular fuel, fast enough. Isn't that interesting? So when I think about this statement, I compare it to what happens to me during the course of the day. And even while I'm doing the exercise behind me. Because I know for sure that ATP requires good fuel. You want explosive fuel, right? And what fuel is explosive? We all know back in the days of World War II or World War I where they had the hydrogen balloons. Do you remember those things? And what were they? Very flammable because hydrogen is explosive in concentration, right? So does it play a role with mitochondria and ATP in the body? When you have the cleanest and most absorbable hydrogen, do you think you're going to have explosive power? Constant explosive power because the mitochondria can perform? Gee, I wonder. Now, I'm just thinking common sense wise. I don't have to say, I think I know what I'm saying. I'm just using real world examples. Now, does those real world examples correlate into the body? Can it help with reducing cortisol? Gee, I wonder. So caffeine, he writes further, Dr. Marco says caffeine doesn't give you real energy. It simply blocks your brain's adenosine receptors, masking the biological collapse for 90 minutes before leaving you even more drained. So, biological collapse for 90 minutes before leaving you even more drained. So, if you were to ask me, do I drink caffeine? And I will tell you straight up, no. And there's a specific reason for that, because caffeine robs the body of magnesium. So with that pinch of salt that I put in my mouth every day and throughout the day, usually I also like to sprinkle salt on my dinner. Am I going to prematurely deplete magnesium storages in my body if I consume caffeine? So does it affect me later in the day? If I have caffeine, it's going to affect me. And I wouldn't be able to skip at the rate I do if I did drink caffeine. Just saying. Because you don't need it. Throw it out the window. Stop drinking it. And start drinking the cleanest and most absorbable water that you can. Because that's going to affect cortisol. I can guarantee you that. Because cortisol is also tied to weight gain. And, body's trying to be in a fight or flight situation. If you're relaxed, your cortisol is going to be lower, but you're going to have more energy. Just saying. And when you power your DNA with the best, then you're going to really feel something that is different. And when you power your body with the fuel that it needs, such as the three amigos, the three aminos, then things really start to take shape. So Dr. Marco writes further, neuroinflammation, the real root of brain fog. Chronic cortisol and poor sleep quality triggers low-grade systemic inflammation. So if you got sunlight as you did as a kid. I know I did. I got lots of sunlight when I was younger. During the summer, I'd get weeks on end of sunlight. Did it help with my longevity from those days? Yeah. It shows still today. Because do I look like I'm 50 years old? Or going to be 50? Do I look 50? 49 turning 50? Mm-mm. So, does sunlight or the infrared light that you get from the sun influence how your body manages cortisol? Gee, I wonder. Does it help with insulin sensitivity and insulin response? Gee, I wonder. So, Dr. Marco says, so if chronic cortisol and poor sleep quality triggers low-grade systemic inflammation, this crosses the blood-brain barrier, slowing down your neural firing speed. So you can't think fast enough. You're not quick-witted. What else does he write here? That moment in a board meeting where you struggle to recall a key metric. This isn't memory loss. That is neuroinflammation. So how do you treat it? How do you get rid of neuroinflammation? Well, there's a little tripeptide called GHK-Cu that your body naturally synthesizes, and it resets and regenerates several thousand DNA genes in the body. Do you think it's going to affect what's in between your eyes and your ears? Because when I talk about experiencing the benefits, improved mental clarity, experience rapid pain relief and reduced inflammation, how about an improved skin appearance, enhance your sports performance, how about increased energy and vitality, faster recovery from exercise? These are all the things that I'm talking about and showing you here day in and day out, like a broken record. I should play a song or something on repeat. Maybe someone would get the picture. But, I'm not, I'm not that crazy, but I am crazy when I just use a metronome, right? That's kind of, my spouse, my wife, she asked me, how can you tolerate that click, 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 click? I said, I just do. So, Dr. Marco says, you cannot solve a cellular energy crisis with more willpower. That's true. I think that's a true statement. When we fix underlying biology, rebalancing cortisol rhythms, repairing mitochondrial function, and quieting the nervous system, something remarkable happens. Well, yeah, when you tame the nervous system down, then you increase the electricity and the bioenergy inside your body where things connect better. And when you have, I'll give you an example. When you have a motor, an engine, a gas-powered engine that's running like a fine-tuned machine, that thing can produce horsepower like no tomorrow. Right? The same rules apply to the human body. So give it the fuel that it needs. And then also the rest. And then when you top it off with powering your DNA, that's the light by way of the X39. Says, hey, Gordon, taps you on the shoulder. Make sure to fix that cortisol level and decrease it. Manage it. Help manage it. So does this help with stress? A lot of people, they go on vacation, they go to the beach, and they sit in the sunlight. They come back and they're relaxed. Well, if you can't get to the beach every few weeks, well then guess what? You can do this and fit this into your lifestyle. And you take it anywhere with you. Look. It's that easy. So when you're ready to pull the trigger, I encourage you to take a look at the benefits. Scan the code as you see on the screen or click on the links in the description below. You'll see the information on the product. And if you're ready to pull the trigger, just scan right there and you'll go to my shop. Distributed in 80 plus countries. But remember that do not buy from unauthorized distributors. Okay? And when I'm talking about unauthorized distributors, I'm talking about Amazon and Walmart are not authorized distributors in North America. Neither in Europe. So, if Amazon is in Asia, not authorized. So make sure you're getting from the correct place, because there's counterfeits out there that they want to steal your money and they want you to not feel the benefits because there's competition. The only person I'm competing against here is me. My results. And I think they speak for themselves. And I feel great. 39 days are left to my 50th birthday, which is on that day. You see right there, there's a countdown. 39 days, 4 hours, 34 minutes, and 45 seconds. And that day is going to be a party. I've been thinking about what I'm going to do to celebrate on the last day before, or 2 days before. So, please unlock your bioenergy. Feel the power of what your DNA can do when you fuel it with the best. Just saying. And you can do it risk-free. Risk-free. And if you're interested in providing this option to your clientele or to your friends, I'm looking for people who are interested in direct sales. So if that is you, let me know, please. And I will help support you. Be the guiding light, if you want to call it that. Because I don't like paying for things that doesn't work. And neither should you. But when they do work, you never stop talking about it. You're like a broken record. Just saying. So, tune in tomorrow for Wacky Wednesday. It's going to be another fabulous day of exercise and topic of discussion. And always remember, drink the cleanest and most observable water that you can. Eat well, sleep well, and feel the benefits that the X39 gives to you. All right. Have a good night.